Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming at you with another Wargaming and Miniature video. In this video, we're going to continue on with our What's in the Box series. And in today's What's in the Box, we're going to be looking at the SdKfz 250 Scout Troop. This box is a Battlefront Miniatures box. It is for the game Flames of War. It is a German late war box. It looks like we're going to get 3 armored vehicles. Yep, 3 vehicles in this box. There's a sticker here that they've added. It now says also includes the Waffen SS cards. Flames of War is a 15mm game, which is also 1/100 scale. This is what it tells us we get in the box. We get 3 250-9s, which is a 20cm or a 2cm or 20mm turret, or we get the 250 with 75mm howitzer, short-barreled howitzer, or we get the 250 with 8cm or 80mm mortar. That would be this guy right here. Or we can do the 250 with machine guns, which is your standard 250 or 250-1 basically. You get a decal sheet, you get unit cards, and in Flames of War, you can build either a scout troop, a 1.5 gun section. You could make an 8cm mortar section, or just transport troops. And then it shows you how to assemble the different configurations. Let's go ahead and open up this box and actually see what kind of sprues and what the decals look like and everything else. All right, let's go ahead and pull the sprues out. They come in a mustard yellow, which is a very good color for German vehicles. All right, so we get these 3 sprues, 1 for each vehicle. I'm sure all 3 of these are exactly the same. They just come with all the different accessories. So what we'll do is we'll take a close look at one of these sprues, and then we'll also zoom in so you can see what the sprue looks like up close. You'll also get crew members. We're going to take a look at these crew members. They look like they are part of the ABS flexible plastic. So they're I think they're trying to get away from their hard plastic men. These guys have an incredible amount of detail on them. I am going to have to say, out of all the Battlefront miniatures that I've gotten, these probably have the most detail out of all of them. Okay, but we'll take a close look at those. You get 3 sprues, and it looks like every sprue is exactly the same. So what we'll do is we'll zoom in close and take a look at those. And this is a very thick card pack. My guess is they put the original cards and then they added the SS cards. Okay, so we get decals. Now again, the Battlefront decals. They have like a clear plastic film over the top of them to protect them from damage inside with blisters and stuff like that. They give you a number of different number combinations to use. They're kind of implying that these guys should be the 75 centimeter, and these guys should be the mortars, and these guys should be just the scouts, which this is the 3rd company, 4th platoon, 1st vehicle, and you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So you could actually do 6 out of 4th platoon, and they give you 2 of each so that you can like maybe put one on the left, one on the right side of the vehicle. And they give you 3, basically they give you 3 sets of anything they offer, except for these bottom numbers, the 211s, the 212s, the 213s, but then they jump 221, 222, 223, but they only give you 1 of each of those. So I don't know, I don't like that. I love the decals in general, but I won't be able to use those 3. Or I could, if I had 2 sets, I could. Okay, let's take a look at these Flames of War cards. Just so you know what kind of cards you're getting in the box. We're not going to be going over like rules, interpretations, or anything like that. That's not the nature of these videos. These videos are to let prospective buyers know, if they bought this box, what they would actually be getting in the box. Okay, so this first one is a transport. This is the one with a couple of machine guns. Now, it does say 3.7 centimeter, I guess that would be the 37 anti-tank gun. It doesn't show it here, but there is a model, I think it's the -10, that has the anti-tank gun. It's more of a command vehicle. But this one says machine gun and anti-tank gun. I wonder if you can model the anti-tank gun. We'll have to figure that out. All right. Then there's a... Okay, doesn't say much. Doesn't say what the costs there are or anything. It just says passengers can carry 1 infantry team as passengers. Okay, that's good. This one is an 8 centimeter mortar. Here we go. It looks like you can get a section of 3 or a section of 2, and how many points they are. Perfect. Machine gun with mortar. Okay, good. Got the gun platoon with the machine gun and the gun, and their point costs. And then there's something called a scout troop, which has the -9, which is a 2 centimeter turret, and then it also has a machine gun. You can get just 1 machine gun, or no, for 3 points you do get 1 machine gun and 2 of the turreted ones, which is what is on the cover of the box. Okay, and so those are the 4 cards you can set up. Now they have, I believe these cards would be SS. I'm just looking up there. 37 or machine guns. It doesn't tell you like how many you get for how many points. Okay, now you get the mortar section. You get the 75 millimeter gun, and you get the scout troop, which in this case would be 1 machine gun, 2 turrets. Okay, but what's this last one? Observation post, which has the machine gun, And for 1 point, you can get a machine gun, but you must include a Nebel Warper, an artillery battery, 105 or 150, or a Vesp, which is 105. Okay, cool. Okay, so those are the cards you get. Those are the decals you get. Now let's take a look at, we'll get a close-up of the decals again. Let's take a look at these troops. We're going to, remember, we are going to do a close-up on all these. I always like to do like an overview first, and then we jump into a close-up. Okay, this is an anti-tank gun shell. This guy's, okay, so he would be loading for an anti-tank gun. This guy is a mortar loader. He's got a mortar shell he's going to drop. This guy's got his hands over his ears, so that's usually means he's part of a mortar crew. This guy's yelling and has his hand up. He could very easily be part of the observation post or part of a machine gun team. And this guy is leaning into an MG42, which this MG42 would be mounted on the front, pintle mount, the front of the vehicle, and you would just basically, you know, he would be the gunner of the machine gun. Yeah, so you wouldn't always have all 5 of these in every vehicle. If you build a mortar, you're probably going to have a couple of these mortarmen, maybe the machine gunner, maybe this leader guy. If you're having a 75, he might be in it. He might be in it. This guy too, he could be in any of them. You know, it just depends. All right, let's take a look at the sprue real quick before we go into the zooms. Okay, so you got the body, the hull, right? And then you've got the 2 side tracks that would just go on the sides. Then you have the hull top, which would cover up the engine compartment and leave an opening for your passenger compartment in the back. You got your wheels in the front. You've got, okay, now this and this and this would fill in this hole to allow for the turret. The turret is right there, which has a little pin on it so that it can turn, and that's the cover of the turret. Okay, that's the mortar. That's an additional machine gun. Not sure what that is. It looks like it's a cannon. It probably goes inside the turret, sticking out. This is the 75 gun. And this is a 75, a raised hull. Basically, it covers an area in the back, brings up the side paneling for that 75. Then over here you got like a little pintle mounted machine gun plate in the front where you'd take your crew and just set him down in there. Or you could just take a machine gun and put it in there with no crew mounted to it. And then you got your, okay, so they're providing a 37 millimeter gun right there. That's the 37. I don't see a gun shield for this 37. I don't know if there's supposed to be one. I'm not sure what that is. That could be the gun, that could be a gun shield. I'm not sure. But that looks like a machine gun that mounts in the back of the half track as a rear firing machine gun. It's like a secondary machine gun. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and zoom in to these figures and decals, and let's take a close look at these. All right, I grabbed the crew. It does say 2018 right there, Battlefront Miniatures. These two sprues do not say that. They are just clean. Okay, so let's take a close look at these guys. Going from left to right, we've got, like I said, the leader. He's got his hand up to his face, and he is shouting. Look at the detail on that model. That's pretty good. And then the second guy has got a big anti-tank gun shell. It's either the 75 or the 37. I think he could be for either one. The one right there in the middle has got a mortar shell in his hand. He's getting ready to drop into a mortar tube. Then you got this guy here. He is putting his hands over his ears. He doesn't want to hear, what's coming. If you notice, all these guys are kind of leaning to the right, or they've got their torso turned to the left. These guys would all be, except for the guy on the far left, they're all looking to their left, which means in the half track they would all fit like this, except for the mortarman. This mortar guy, this guy, you could have him turned the other way because he doesn't need to be facing forward. Okay, and then you got the last guy there, which is that machine gunner that I was talking about. You'll notice they're not wearing a whole lot of kit. They don't need to because they're in half track. All their stuff should be sitting in the half track or hanging off the back of it, right? Okay, flipping this over. I'm noticing that all these guys are early war Germans because they've got the jack boots. There's no camouflage smocks or anything like that. These guys would just be your standard, what some people would call blitzkrieg infantry, It's your traditional standard German infantry, maybe early Barbarossa style Russian, or maybe Invasion of France Germans. That's what these guys would be. Okay, let's take a look at the decals super quick. All right, you see what I'm talking about, where it says these over here for the 250 mortar, these are for the 75 millimeter, and this one's for the scout troop. But then you've got 3 license plate numbers and your 3 crosses. Okay, looking good. Finally, let's take a look at the sprue. Let's take a look at, let's take a look starting up here. We've got the standard hull with the seats and maybe a communications box back in the back. You got your tracks as per your half track. So you got your tracks for the back and the side panels that go up. And then you got your front wheels. And then let's kind of go around here. You've got your machine gun that is on, see that little bracket right there, the little Y bracket, that goes in the back of the half track. This is your 37 millimeter cannon for the officer's version of this. And then this is just a machine gun if you're not using the crew member with the machine gun. This plate, I'm not sure what that plate is. I don't think it's a shield for the 37, but I'll have to take a look to see exactly what that is. There is your machine gun shield. And then that's the hull, top hull. There's the pinhole for the rear machine gun. And then this right here is the plate for the driver and the passenger to look out. Those are little gun windows. That plate goes across the front right there, and that's the hole for whatever front forward firing machine gun or anti-tank gun would go in there. Okay, and then we look at the other half of this sprue. This could be those front windows that we were just showing you, and this would cover the crew compartment, and then that's where the turret would sit down inside there with this pin right here. This pin would attach to the bottom of this turret right in there, and then that pin would just drop right down inside there, and you could turn your turret. And then this is like a screen that goes, normally can open and close, but this, not on this model kit, but this would sit on top of the turret. I believe this is the gun that goes inside the turret, and then it has a second machine gun that sticks out, because on the turret you've got a couple of different openings. This is just the spare machine gun that sits on the turret. That's the mortar that would go inside the half track. If you were using the 75, which is the short barreled 75 howitzer, you would put it on that, and you can see if that's the driver and passenger window, you can see how it's elevated along the sides. Okay, that's the entire sprue there. All right, guys, for the 250, which is traditionally a reconnaissance half track, you can make a variety of different vehicles out of one of these sprues. I could make the machine gun version. I could make the anti-tank version, the 37mm. I can make the 75mm howitzer version. I could make the 80mm mortar, and I can make the 20mm autocannon. So there's and apparently the transport vehicle, the machine gun, standard machine gun one, you could also make an OP or an observation or a command vehicle. So really there's about 5 vehicles that you can make out of each one of these sprues, just depending on what you need to do to fill out your army. Yeah, and you get 3 of those sprues in the box. You get 3 sprues of crew members, so you could put all 5 in one vehicle, but I would probably only put 2 or 3 just to make it look like there's people in the vehicle. And then you have different crew depending on the configuration that you set up. You get enough decals to do 3 vehicles, and you get both sides, the numbers for both sides, and you get the crosses, and you get the license plate numbers. Okay, and you get all the cards for just your standard reconnaissance, and then you get your cards for your SS reconnaissance. And I'm sure that has something to do with the numbers that are involved in the game, but we're not talking about Flames of War. I'm just talking about what's in the box. All right, well, thanks for coming out and checking out this video of what's in the box, showing off what's in the 250 Scout Troop, and look forward to seeing more videos like this on the channel. I look forward to you subscribing to the channel and checking these videos out. All right, I'll catch you in the next one.